Reading with your kids.
Hola, ni hao, konnichiwa, assalamu alaikum, shalom, mahaba, monamili wanji, namaste, jambo, bienvenidos. Hi, my name is Jedley, and this is the Reading with Your Kids podcast. We're coming to you from the beautiful neighborhood of Reedville in the southwest corner of Boston, Massachusetts. We are so delighted and so very honored that you are joining us in our mission to help families grow closer through reading. Please be sure to subscribe to the show in the iHeartRadio app, on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. We have two wonderful guests for you today. Michelle Wagner will be here to celebrate Mickey on the Move farming. And we'll also be welcoming Kay Sullivan. She'll be telling us all about Pawple People. Before we invite our guests into the studio, we want to let you know that this episode of the Reading with Your Kids podcast is brought to you by Candlewood Press, publishers of This Is a School, written by John Shue and illustrated by Veronica Miller Jameson. In this moving celebration of schools and the people that make up the communities within, John Shue reminds us that a school is much more than a building. It's a place for work and play, creativity and trust, and a supportive community that extends beyond the school walls. This really is a beautiful book. You're going to love it. The story is great. The illustrations are absolutely beautiful. We know that this is going to be one of your back-to-school favorites and a great addition to your family library. This Is a School is available now wherever you buy books. This episode of the podcast is also brought to you by, yes, a great picture book by Gina Giordano. Have you ever heard your children or your students say that they couldn't do something, or that it was just too hard? You know, we've all fought a case of the knots before. Yet, by Gina Giordano teaches kids that it's okay to make mistakes and that mistakes are actually a fantastic learning tool. Yet is a superhero who helps the citizens fight the negativity the evil nut twins bring to town and helps those citizens discover their own superpower, the power of yet. It's a great lesson for young and old with a powerful message that will have your kids talking for quite some time. Yet by Gina Giordano, a great addition to your family library. Join us on the line from Napa Valley in California. Our guest is returning to celebrate her brand new picture book. It's called Mickey on the Move Farming. Please welcome back to the podcast, Michelle Wagner. Hey, Michelle, how are you?
Hi, Jed. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Michelle was sharing a little bit about the farm that she lives on, and it sounds like so much fun.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of work, and very rewarding.
Yeah, I bet. So, Mickey on the Move. This is the second in the series.
Yes.
And it's based on your son.
Yes, it's based on our life, really. But, you know, the first book was kind of introducing cochlear implants and Mickey's life, and that he's, you know, we're on the move for specialty schools for a long time after he was implanted with his cochlear implants. And it was very educational. And I intend to do, you know, a series of books and, you know, all problem solving and educating.
Yeah.
And this one in particular focus is on his aqua cochlear implant, which was developed after he was implanted. Cochlear developed a safety case and a couple extra elements to the actual device so that kids can get wet, go swimming with their implants on. Otherwise, if they are, you know, Mickey's completely deaf when he's not wearing his implants, the cochlear devices. And now he has the ability to run through a sprinkler or do all his farming duties without the worry of ruining his, you know, devices.
That's amazing. No, that's something that I never thought of and considered, but it makes perfect sense. It's an electronic device. but it never occurred to me that somebody with a cochlear implant would have to be concerned if they were caught out in a rainstorm, for example.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, I've always made sure you had a raincoat and an umbrella and, but you could be, it did happen to us in San Francisco, you're out not expecting and then all of a sudden here comes the rain.
Yeah. And, that's something, my beautiful wife and I traveled to Costa Rica a few years back before the pandemic, and we just happened to be there in the rainy season, and it was raining every day on and off. And so I imagine and there are lots of places like that around the world, and thank goodness that they've developed this new type of implant so that folks don't have to worry about that, and they can still go about their life and hear and be a part of the world.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah. So on Mickey and the Move Farming, we're going to see Mickey doing his chores all around the farm?
Yes. Yeah. Not all of them, but most of them. And it does give example, on our farm, we have chickens and bees and, various, garden, everything you can imagine. And it does go through a kind of a storm coming in where he's worrying about his cochlears getting wet and also working, with his dad on a farm and, wanting to be, squirt with a sprinkler. Mm-hmm. And it shows that he doesn't have to, worry about these things anymore.
Yeah, that's so cool. As you were speaking about being on the farm, I think a lot of people, especially myself, when I think of being out on the farm, I'm thinking about a place that's really quiet and calm and peaceful. But then I thought a little bit more about it, and I was thinking how much I would miss if I was on the farm and I wasn't able to hear the bees buzzing or the birds chirping or the animals making whatever noises they're making or just coming over and running up to us. And
right.
It would be a completely different experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it would not be, life would not be as enjoyable if there wasn't sound. Mm-hmm. I mean, and especially on, a farm mm-hmm. where there's tons and tons of, for all senses, different smells, different things to see. And, it could, a garden and the farm and nature itself is actually extremely stimulating if you allow yourself to be calm and take it all in.
Yeah. Hey, remind us, I think we spoke a little bit about this when you're on the podcast in the past. Can you talk a little bit about how the cochlear implant actually works? It's not a hearing aid. It doesn't necessarily amplify sound. You were saying that Mickey is completely deaf without the implant. So, amplifier wouldn't necessarily help him.
That's correct, because he is completely deaf. And the device, actually, it's an implant, but the thing is, it's an implant in his head. It's a little computer chip that attaches to the cochlea. And it was an operation he had when he was about 3 years old. And they, cut into your skin and install this device. And then, the healing process after that is a couple, you're not activated for like a couple months where you actually do hear sound. But it does enable the completely deaf person to hear sounds, whispers, and it doesn't all happen at once. And of course, when he was first implanted and activated, it's quite shocking. And talk about stimulating, mm-hmm. It's extremely stimulating. And then after we meet with the audiologist still twice a year, and it's called mapping, and it's when they kind of reprogram or check all the different sounds on the program, on the little device. It's like a computer that he wears on his ear. Mm-hmm. And once they do that, then they can perfect or kind of, tune him up, so to speak. And it's really helpful.
Now, is it? My understanding of science is very, very limited, but I know when we're hearing, there's sounds that come through and create vibrations in our ears, and that's what we're hearing is the vibrations. Is that sort of what's going on with the cochlear implant, or is it a completely different process?
Yeah, it is. It stimulates the cochlea. The cochlea is what is actually where the vibrations and sounds are coming through. But he does have, he can differentiate voices and things like that. So it's not like he's just hearing, robots.
Right.
He is getting, sound. So, and voices and different pitches, through the implant.
That's really, what a beautiful time that we're living in where, we have these breakthroughs that allow somebody like Mickey to hear and engage fully with the world.
Yes, technology can be amazing.
Yes.
And it has definitely been a plus for him in many ways.
Yeah. And one of the things you were saying is that it was kind of shocking for him the first time that the implant was activated. Do you remember his first expression?
Yeah, his eyes just got kind of wide, and it's scary in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's quite because it is shocking, and you just don't know what to do first, and we didn't know what to expect he was going to do, but he's like bright-eyed, and at age 3, he was like a total, very blonde. And big blue eyes, and, his reaction just kind of lit up the room, sort of like he does now. He's still sweet, and, it took a while for balance and all those things, and to get used to, of course. But, we still go to speech sessions, and he's very active, and, it's still, a lot of work, but he hears, and we're grateful.
Yeah. You were mentioning balance. I think I was very surprised when I learned that our ears have a lot to do with our balance, our vestibular system. I never would have put those two together.
Yes, so much to do with it. And he definitely got stronger and more confident after he was implanted, because then, of course, he had better balance. He had, everything kind of comes together, but it doesn't all happen overnight. And, there's his other senses are so incredibly strong. His sight, he can see anything from very, very far away. And the smallest, insect even, or plane that's so far away none of us can see. But it's amazing.
Yeah. One of the things I loved about Mickey on the Move when you first came on is, and I think the same is true with Mickey on the Move Farming, these are beautiful books that can start some conversations, not only with kids who have a hearing impairment, but also allow kids, quote unquote, typical kids, to have a look inside the life of somebody who is hearing impaired or deaf, to help them develop some empathy and to help them see that Mickey is a kid and can be a great friend.
Yes, yeah, and they do, and adults, to be honest, too. They can help everybody.
Well, I know people are going to want to know where they can go to find out more about Mickey on the Move and Mickey on the Move Farming, and find out more about you.
Well, I have a website. It's SimpleMichelleWagnerAuthor.com.
Awesome.
And through there, you could buy books. You could read more about Mickey, see our real life pictures and our real life experiences. and it connects to all the bookstores that carry our books. Everything from Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Target, local, mom and shop and pop shops, which are my favorite.
We've had a really fun time speaking to the author of Mickey on the Move Farming, the second book in the series, and our guest has been the author and the mom of Mickey, Michelle Wagner. Hey, Michelle, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jen, and thank everybody for joining.
If you are anywhere in the New England area, tomorrow, August 6, 2022, please be sure to join us at the beautiful Buttonwood Park Zoo and the beautiful city of New Bedford, Massachusetts. We're going to be celebrating episode 1500 at the zoo, and you are going to have such a fun time. There'll be magic shows, story time. We'll be giving away loads and loads and loads of books. We'll be teaching you how to create a wonderful magical prop. And we'll be joined by some wonderful guests. Ruth Malley will be with us. Jacob Monroe will be with us. We'll also be featuring my buddy Lynn Dilly. She'll be there reading a little bit from her book, Your Vote is Magic, and telling us a little bit about the story of the elephant that appeared in her amazing special, and the elephant lives at the Buttonwood Park Zoo. So come on down and join us. It's going to be a fun time. August 6, 2022, Buttonwood Park Zoo, New Bedford, Massachusetts. We are here at the Florida Homeschool Convention. This is an amazing event. There's so many people here, so many vendors. I think they're expecting 15,000 people here. One of those people is dressed in this adorable yellow dress. Dress or skirt? It's a dress. Okay, I don't wear them. Okay, and her name is Kay Sullivan, and she has a really exciting program. Kay, welcome to the Reading with Your Kids podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Tell us all about this new series that you're launching.
It's called Pawple Power. It's a brand new 24 audiobook series. It is founded on the Pawples, who are paw people with powerfully positive personalities.
It's very perplexing how you got all those P's in there. Very.
Yes, and they live in Poppleton.
Poppleton.
Yes, a powerfully positive place.
I hope all these P's don't pop on the podcast.
Yes, well, I'll keep my distance from the microphone.
So tell us what was the inspiration for the series?
Well, I homeschooled my kids, and I had a hard time finding books that taught the power of positive character in a purely positive way. That there are a lot of books out there, but you had to wade through the first 2/3 or 3/4 of the book, which were negative, to get to the positive. And I didn't want my kids to be exposed to all that. I just wanted them to be exposed to the positive. So I wrote a series myself. The mission of the Pawples is to teach kids to visualize what good character looks like, and it inspires kids to emulate or imitate that good character in their own lives.
That's something, whether it's teaching my own kids or when I'm doing my educational magic shows, teaching kids to visualize something. And when I go out on stage, I visualize what I'm going to be doing. I taught my kids to visualize when they were in either dance or football, and it really is a powerful way to teach yourself and get yourself in the right mindset.
Yeah, as parents, as teachers, as Sunday school teachers, we say to our kids, be mindful or be courteous or be serving, be kind. But what does that really look like in everyday life? Mm-hmm. And the series helps kids to visualize how to be those things at home and out of the home, and then to really attach themselves to the characters and be like the characters themselves, like Brave Bree, Courteous Curtis, Kind Kyle, Serving Sam. As parents, we want our kids to be like that, but how do we get them there? And this gets them there. Yeah.
That's really, and it's a great way to teach your kids alliteration, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like Patient Page, who loves the letter P.
This isn't Paige by any chance, is it?
She's our mascot.
She's your
She's Diligent D. Yes.
I don't know what the rules are here down in Florida. I think in Massachusetts, if I refer to my daughter as a mascot, I might get in trouble. I don't know. It's been a while.
So right now we are offering 40% off the entire series, plus $15 worth of bonus materials, fun bonus materials. It's something that we put on for the show. Our website is pawplepower.com, and you can look at Pawple is Pawple, Power, pawplepower.com, because they're paw people, and they're based on breeds of dogs. For example, Affectionate Alfie is an Afghan hound. Braveberry is a boxer, and it goes through, and it sort of teaches dog breeds as well. I mean, it's really, really fun. It's unique. There's nothing else out there like it, and it's exciting and fun for the kids.
I got to speak to the mascot. Come on over, please. Now, you can tell me your name or your mascot name. It's up to you. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Excellent Elizabeth. And she has an exceedingly wonderful smile. Should have said exceedingly exciting smile. I should have said exceedingly excited expression. I'm telling you, it's contagious. It's like COVID. Tell me, what was it like when your mom was creating this series of books?
It was very fun. I loved looking at the characters, the drawings. I just wanted to look at them all day long.
All day long. That's awesome. And was there a point at any time when you said to your mom, look, Mom, just can you get words with different beginning sounds, just like once for dinner?
No.
No. You kind of dug that?
Yes.
You did. Okay. And who are these other people walking around in Pawple people outfits?
The creators of the website, and
we're a production team. We're a Wholesome Productions. We're a family production team, and these guys are my cameramen. They edit, graphic design, web design. Basically, I write the books. I have narrated them, and these guys have done everything else.
Awesome. And do you work for free?
No comment.
So I do want to ask you, tell me your name, please.
My name is Ethan.
Ethan, and are you, Ethan must be the engineer, right?
Sure, yes.
Or the editor.
The editor, yes. I can't, put me on the spot. I can't think of any E words. Yeah. Graphic design.
Graphic design, okay. What's it like working as a family to create this series of books?
Oh, man, I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, working as a family is just something that you can't compare it with anything else. You know, to have that true bond as a family and to share our creative vision and to start from just an idea and to bring it to fruition together is just such an amazing, exciting experience.
Either introduce us to the other members of the team.
This is Daniel.
I'm Daniel Sullivan.
Daniel, what's your job in the team?
I'm also an editor and audio engineer.
What's the most challenging thing as you're editing this series with so much alliteration, and so your mom is kind of soft-spoken here? What's the biggest challenge you face?
Having to listen to the same voice in my headphones for so many hours. It's tough, but I got through it.
Well, my beautiful wife she can relate because she has to listen to me introduce when I'm doing post-production. I'm doing the introduction, which is rather obnoxious 7 or 8 or 10 times in a row, and she gets to hear that.
It is a lovely voice, I should add. Yes.
I think he's referring to you, not to me. That's okay. And introduce us to this last member of the team.
This is John Sullivan. He's also my father.
And maybe that's the most important job, along with mom.
Well, you know, I support everything, and I'm the PR man, always behind the scenes, and it's just an amazing thing watching the whole family bond together and work on a project and see it come to fruition. From an idea a couple of years ago to all the hard work that they've all put in. He didn't go to bed till 5 o'clock last night in the morning, 5 in the morning, working to finish up the editing on things, and to know that they're homeschooled, that they've been able to follow their talents, their dreams, their desires, and just the way it's all just melded together, and the joy that we have as we follow these dreams and travel together, and the creative ideas we're driving together, we're always tossing things around. It's just such an amazing blessing, and I would not put a value on it. It's just so huge.
So, you're homeschooled, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I hear these things that homeschool kids, like, they're really weird. They don't know how to get along with other kids. They never socialize. They're by themselves. What would you say to somebody like who said that?
They're definitely not correct.
Tell us what you like about being homeschooled.
I get to spend time with my family. There's no bullies. I hate bullies.
Oh, I thought you said there's no boys.
I just love spending time with my family. I can take breaks and don't have to be forced into doing what I don't want to do every single day.
And you can be a part of the creative process for our projects. Like, she's an integral part of things. I mean, she's a kid, right? So you want to hey, what do you think about this, Elizabeth? Do you like this? If you like it, then mostly other kids are going to like it too. So.
And also, her creativity is falling into line with being able to, be a part of the projects as they grow.
Well, all those nice things they're saying about you, Elizabeth, how did that make you feel?
Excellent.
Excellent, Elizabeth, and her excited expression. I'm really happy that you spent time with us. Thank you so much. Remind us, Mom, once again about the website and where people can learn more.
Sure. The series is Pawple Power, Paw People with Powerfully Positive Personalities. The website is www.pawplepower.com, Pawple power.com. Look it up and send us an email. We'd love to connect.
Awesome. We've had a great time speaking to the Pawple family. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Please be sure to join us for the next episode of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. Our guest will be Kathleen Davis. That's the next episode of the show. Hey, if you're the author of a fantastic children's book, please do visit our website, readingwithyourkids.com. Click on the author's Click Here button at the top of the page to find out how you can be a guest here on the podcast. Find out how you can submit your book to our Certified Great Read panel, and also find out how you can take part in our monthly promotion program. Want to thank the folks who made today's show so wonderful. Want to thank Michelle Wagner. Please be sure to check out Mickey on the Move Farming. Also want to thank Kay Sullivan and her beautiful family. Be sure to check out Pawple People. We also want to thank our sponsors, Candlewick Press. Be sure to check out This Is a School by John Shue, and also Yet by Gina Giordano. Also want to thank my team, Fatima Khan, Rory Grady, Nicole Belcastro, Mirabella Q, Rain Pan. I want to thank my beautiful wife for all the support she gives me. Most of all, we all want to thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, and as always, thank you so very much for taking the time to make the world a better place by reading with your kids. I'll be looking for you in the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast.